What's up, y'all? It's your boy Shazni. Alright, so let's talk about Heron. One of Kamal Haasan's greatest masterpiece. I mean, this man is a legend, one of the gods of world cinema. But when you just sit back and just look at his resume, it is truly mind effing blowing. And he keeps impressing you even till this date, and I cannot wait to see what Lokesh has done with his hero. For him, that's cinema for him. So him directing cinema, I'm expecting something real good out of Vikram. I cannot wait for that. Kamal Haasan with some young blood, that's something worth waiting for. But Hiram, something came out of his own creation. He wrote it, he directed it, he produced it. Even at a loss. I love the making, the behind the scenes conversation about the film, where they all feel like, what, this movie probably and might not make any money back, but it's just out of pure passion and love for cinema and storytelling. Like Shah Rukh Khan did his role for free. You know what I'm saying? And look at the cast in this, the supporting characters and everything that was put together by Kamal Hassan. It is truly breathtaking. It's one of those films, but like I missed that. I don't think anybody will even attempt. Like, listen, we do get some real solid films from young filmmakers, but they do with some new faces and stuff like that, which is fine. But they don't have the same production value. If you watch Hiram, you got an A-list superstar with Kamal Hassan, especially at that point in time. You got Kamal Hassan doing a film like this. That's like Talabadi doing a film like Hiram right now. How that would have been. Who is actually making films like Hiram? Who is writing films like Hiram? Who is going to produce films like Hiram? Kamal Hassan has to do it himself. I've seen images of Hiram growing up, but I never watched the film fully until a couple of years ago, and I was just blown away. They did a new restoration of the film, and if you can watch it, it's on Prime. Unfortunately, it's not available in Canada anymore. I don't know what happened. Maybe the deal went off, but I'm pretty sure in India or in some other places there might be still available. But the film looks like it was shot yesterday. That's how much of an amazing job they did with the restoration. Anyways, let's talk about the film itself. The story it tackles, the character journey you go through with this film, the complexity, the layers, and the rewatchability of the story because of the character's process of everything and things that happens to him. It is absolutely fascinating. You got Ilayaraja's score throughout the entire film, and there is a beautiful rhythm to the movie. It's beautifully orchestrated, and this is one of those few films in Indian cinema that I've seen that the entire film is very eternal. There's not too much explaining going around, and every time it happens in a very beautifully executed sequences. For example, one of the major scene is like in the middle of the film when Kamal Hassan encounters with Shah Rukh Khan's character once again, and there's like a big chase going on, like this action block going on, and there's a massive, insane, interesting, beautifully put together dialogue. A conversation is happening where you're getting a lot of information of finally what is actually going through Kamal Hassan's head. What is going through that character's mind space right now, and you get a lot of information at that moment, and you're getting a rebuttal from Shah Rukh Khan's character, and the back and forth. It is so well done, but same time there's an intensity because there's another subplot of this chase. Is people chasing you that wants to kill you. That's coming through as well. So that's what I'm talking about. Amazing, beautiful exposition because it is not a separate thing. Okay, we gotta let the audience know what the hell is going on. That's not what that scene was. That scene was just a character's journey finally meeting at a point where this is the moment it is necessary to speak out. And when it happens, it is so powerful. It is so immersive. You're so engaged, and there's so many other components coming together. That is the best and one of the greatest examples of what good exposition is, because exposition is basically you explaining certain things going on, and in a film when you're telling a story it is necessary. Hiram does it in a beautiful way where you understand everything even though certain things are not said. But in Indian cinema, it's we are like always talking, bro. It's always, everything is spoon fed 24/7. But Hiram treats you like a real intelligent human being experience the story with that character. His journey into violence and what that means, his perception and perspective of things evolving and changing and being questioned, his self-doubt, his self-righteousness. There's so many moments where he's about to go one side, but there's something pulls him to another side. It is beautifully crafted in a way that everything moves so elegantly. Sometimes you're in his shoe, sometimes the movie pulls you back, and I'm observing in a different perspective, and then he pulls you back in. Like I said initially, there's an orchestrator. Kamal Hassan is beautifully orchestrating every single thread of this film in ways maybe he wasn't even conscious, but subconsciously, I think this movie is on a different wavelength. This could have been a path Tamil cinema could have had. Like we could have had the masala movies, the mass movies, and the commercial movies, but also we could have had Heyram kind of films as well. And of course, Kamal Hassan came after this flop. He came back with Virumandi, which he wrote and directed, and he was able to balance that, to tell a in-depth creative story, but also being able to appeal to a wider mainstream audience. Because that's where that I want to make films that are for the mainstream audience, but I want to still push the boundaries. And I think Heyram, some people say if he came out today, maybe it would have gone the same result, which I don't think it's true. I think if Heyram came out today, it would be much different. It would be the way people would receive the film would be much different. I think it would be celebrated to a level that the film would have deserved. So I do believe in sometimes certain film, like especially in Tamil cinema, I believe it clearly because things do change. People want film like Hiram now. If somebody like Talabadi, if somebody like Surya really does a film that is narrative driven, I'm not talking about some propaganda stuff. I'm talking about really about the story within that. The character journey. It's about that story. It's about that narrative. It's about that journey the character go through and the situation and circumstance that it deals with, and you get that visceral immersive experience. If those kind of actors right now did this, I mean, my God, right? I like all sorts of films, but we could have gotten these kind of movies as well on a mainstream level, in a mainstream production value and budget and cast and crew and all that kind of good stuff, but with this level of range and greatness. But with that said, guys, let me know what y'all thought about Heyram and how y'all think the film will be received today and what kind of a success this could have potentially had if Kamal Hassan was like in his prime today. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the things we could have gotten? But with that said, guys, let me know how you felt about it all on the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see you guys on my next one. Salute.